Howdy everyone, and welcome to the premiere of the first episode of Vain Pursuit. I'm Knorr, this is Karim, he's the important one.
Well, I do believe that you are the important one. You being the one who put me here after all.
We've definitely not practiced this in advance.
Absolutely not. This is normal banter.
Exactly. The thing I wanted to mention though is that you're not only the storyteller for this chronicle, but you're also the brand editor for World of Darkness. So you kind of, World of Darkness is your business.
Well, it is my privilege.
Tell us a bit, as I've forced you to do several times in the production of this, tell us a bit about Vain Pursuit and how it relates to Bloodlines 2.
Well, Vain Pursuit is a story set approximately 2 years before the events of Bloodlines 2, and it kind of ties bits of Bloodlines 1 and Bloodlines 2 together in very subtle ways, which might or might not have some major consequences. If you, once you play Bloodlines 2, you'll pick up on some of these, but you might pick up a few even before if you look really closely.
Like I said at the start, this is our premiere episode. Tell us what you think basically anywhere I guess we post this. We are really keen to hear your thoughts and feedback. Karim, should we just show them episode 1?
I think we should. They waited long enough.
Here you go.
The year is 2018. Wildfires rage across the Californian landscape, and Infinity War mills millions of box office dollars. Meanwhile, 5 corpses animated by ancient blood make their way towards a warehouse south of the LA International Airport. They have been handpicked, drafted for a task few of the undead would willingly undertake: to brave the highways from LA to Seattle in an attempt to relieve a courier believed compromised. A courier with a package, contents unknown, bound for the Emerald City. Some of you do this willingly, most of you do not. But failure, no matter the reason, is not an option. Your first task in this, as given to you by Nines Rodriguez of the Anarch Free States and the city of Los Angeles, is to find a map. Nobody knows the route the courier has taken. He or she probably avoids the interstates and instead likely take the highways and even more obscure routes to reach his or her destination. You've been tipped off that a contact, possibly a ghoul, to one of Nine's Anarch subordinates, has developed something that might be of use to you, a way of tracking, or at least semi-tracking this courier and finding out which route they have taken. This contact is supposed to be found in a warehouse off of the Imperial south of the LA International Airport. And that is where you steer your van, which contains all of you, the undead. And with you is also a retinue of retainers. Some of them your personal ghouls, others lended to you or, well, possibly rented out to you by your good employer in this, Nines. They are, they drive the mobile haven of Maya here, a creature accustomed to unlife on the roads. But unfortunately, the Camaro hauling this trailer isn't big enough to comfortably house all of you, so you make do with a van, a Ford, that you also have been lent generously for this undertaking. You find the designated warehouse. It's surrounded by a fence of corrugated steel. The lot next door is, being excavated for some reason. Machine stands silently in the Californian night. And you all step out one by one from the van. The first of you to exit is the driver, Maya. Please, tell us about yourself.
So, I don't know how many of you listen to, aging punk rock bands, but do you know that picture of people who looked really, really, really cool when they were 20, who are now 40 and who haven't yet quite given up on that style of dress? He kind of looks like that. He looks like a man who has decided that Henry Rollins is his model of gracefully aging, and he looks just about good enough to pull it off. Just about. He steps out, flipping the cigarette butt into the night, aviator jacket on, some vintage band logo, something, Dark Side of the Moon kind of thing. Takes off the aviator shades he's worn whilst he drove, and starts immediately inspecting the surrounding, the van, and making sure that nothing is onto it with the wheels, or that there were any impacts or something like that he hadn't noticed.
After that, after the driver, comes the brain.
Margaret's going to step out as well and look at Disdain with a cigarette butt, because she thinks that's unnecessary to mar the beauty of the night. She's wearing as many patterns as she possibly can, with as many colors as she possibly can, while still having an air of sophistication, possibly brought on by the fact that all her clothes are very expensive. I don't have anything more to say, sorry.
That is all good. Followed by, well, let's call her the muscle for the moment. The second woman in charge, so to speak.
Veronica would step out of the van, not only paying attention to the surroundings, but also to the other kindred who are surrounding her, because they're of the interest. The car ride was a little bit awkward, without much talking. She is dressed in a, let's say, simply rebellious outfit. Leather jackets, you have some earrings, you have basket hair. She does have some pride to her when she walks with the straight posture, showcasing her muscular little body. But her outfit is a little bit maybe too tidy for what you would see in a, let's say, a punk rock band. The leather jacket is a bit too new. The jeans are torn, but it looks artificially torn. And yeah, that's all for now.
Then we have Della.
Who basically falls out of the truck because she doesn't want to be touching anything or anyone because of how gross everything is.
Well, you're all very neat, all of you, aren't you?
It's more.
Right, okay.
It's more.
You're picking up the slack.
Thank you.
I don't want to get the lack of style on me, honestly. She has kind of this boho beach persona about her. A lot of jewelry, a lot of baubles, sandy highlighted hair, as she kind of fusses, exiting and taking in the warehouse, which, ew. And then we continue on our merry.
No, that is fine. And she is obviously the face. Now, finally, we come to the eyes.
Yes, so Camellia steps out of the car, and if you look a little bit too neat, she looks impeccable. She looks like a businesswoman who is right now went from a board meeting and are on her way to cocktails with some other CEOs, and seeing you throw a cigarette butt, that is, if she's here to be the eyes, that is the only thing she is currently focused on.
Her eyes keep straying to that cigarette.
It is very hard to
Yeah.
look at the building because of this thing.
But can I ask you? Are you all obviously you have not gone away on this task directly from whatever you were attending previously? I'm guessing you are dressed somewhat practically, at least practically in your mind.
Practically, in my mind, I'm wearing a suit.
A suit, all right.
But I think also
A travel suit?
No, well, it is my travel suit because it is partly black. I think the main takeaway, especially for everyone else also in the car, is that Camellia wears a white shirt underneath a black suit. Her hair is way too neat. It is not a thing is out of place. And she has a gigantic handbag. That is the...
Gigantic handbag.
That looks very expensive, but also very
Affirmative.
worn and way too full.
All right. So, Veronica. No, sorry. Veronica. Your name is. Get it here. Margaret. Sorry. Margaret. Veronica. Della. Maya. And Camellia. We need to get ourselves some name tags because I am going to forget this. We can edit that out if needed. While the general surrounding area looks, not deserted, but at least unoccupied for the night, there is a light on. You can see that there is, small windows on the warehouse. It's kind of a small warehouse, and it's probably being used for other purposes now. I can't see any loading vehicles or anything there. You can also hear the sound of what seems to be one or more motorbikes disappearing in the distance.
Being that I kind of tend to travel through LA quite a lot, do I know the area? Do I know the occupant, or is this entirely new to me?
You don't know the specific occupant. All kinds of things spring up in these warehouses. Some of them are used for offices. Some of them are used for parties. Some of them are even used for storage. Fancy that. This is all stuff that might have been used more during the construction of the airport, but has now been sort of outsourced as other...
Rental space.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if outsource is a word, but I'm going to use that now. So to reiterate, you were all drafted for this by the famous or infamous, if depending on perspective, Anarch Nines Rodriguez. He has told you that a very important package, has been sent to Seattle with a courier loyal to the Anarch movement, the vampire sect that tries to embody a more liberal lifestyle. It doesn't always turn out that well. It is ruled by barons rather than princes, and sort of try to act as an umbrella for the dispossessed and those that don't fit in the ivory tower anymore, the feudal camarilla. Here on the West Coast, you have you're living or unliving in what is known as the Anarch Free State, an area that is supposedly bereft of camarilla influence, liberated by the Anarchs. But like any fiefdoms, corruption grows, and power structures have a way of coalescing, even though the intent is that they not. I just told you that you had been summoned by Nines as he was forming a task force of a sort, a relief force and a rescue team, because he has recently learned, and by recently I mean this last night, that the courier is compromised. Some other party, a identity unknown, has infiltrated that mission, and he has it on He has reliable information that the package will never reach Seattle, and you are to ensure that it does. So your task will be to try to find out which route the courier has taken, and then, moving as fast as inhumanly possible, catch up with the courier and make sure that whatever betrayal that is to take place doesn't. Right. And also, if possible, escort the courier the rest of the way to the Emerald City.
So it has to leave LA. It has to leave the Los Angeles, right? The package.
The package has already left.
Okay, I see.
The package left a couple of nights ago. But in order to avoid detection, because as everybody knows, traveling outside of cities, especially on back roads, as necessitated by this task, is dangerous, and it's hard to calculate the time that it will take for the courier to reach Seattle.
So, do we know who the rat is?
Do you know who the rat is?
The traitor.
The traitor. You mean the one who spilled the beans, or the traitor that is accompanying the courier?
The latter.
No, you have no idea. It might not even be a vampire.
Oh,
it could simply be that somebody has bought off the retainers accompanying the courier.
Okay.
Do we know more about the courier herself or himself?
No.
Or their self?
Or they self?
Nothing. Nines was... the only thing you know is that the courier is considered to be absolutely loyal to the Anarch movement. So there is no doubt that the courier themselves will try to accomplish the mission. The problem lies with their surrounding, the company. Exactly.
Do we know how they're traveling? I'm gonna assume by car.
Yes.
It's LA.
Yes, they are traveling by car. Now let me consult this. They are actually traveling by you've been given a description of the vehicle that the courier is using. It's a Dodge Sprinter van, a red Dodge Sprinter van, apparently labeled Easy Dry Cleaning.
That's helpful.
Yes. So you do know what the vehicle looks like that you will be tailing or trying to track. You just don't know exactly the route it has taken or how far it has come.
But we know it hasn't gotten to Seattle yet.
No, absolutely, no.
So-
No, very unlikely, unlikely.
Right. And we are currently in the parking lot of that warehouse.
Yes.
Just casing the joint a little bit, does this look like there are lots of people in there? Is there a lot of light on?
There is light. You can see light. Whether there are a lot of people in there or not, it's really hard to tell. I would simply do a resolve plus awareness check if you're really making an effort.
First roll of the campaign.
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh, and of course.
Oh yeah. How hungry am I?
You are all. I'd say that you've been given enough time to prepare, so you're not hungry. So you will all start with 1 hunger. So each of you should take 1 hunger dice. I do believe it's easiest to track hunger just by accumulating dice on the sheet, but your mileage may vary.
So this is the first time I'm actually rolling with the official die.
Well, let's make it count then.
I'm pretty sure they're going to screw me over because it's the first time I'm rolling with them.
You have to tell them nice things.
Yeah, whisper sweet nothings.
Yeah.
Yes. That's how the dice magic works.
I'm sure it is. Well, we know how it's gonna go. Literally nothing. So
You haven't the slightest clue. You shouldn't blame him though.
There's a bit of a scruff there.
Yeah, because it's really hard. There's no sounds coming from the warehouse, and all you know is that you will be getting help. Either a route or a way of tracking the route here by a contact to Nines, or possibly contact to an associate of Nines, simply called Steve. Steve.
Good old Steve.
Yes.
I'd like
Going to a mysterious warehouse to meet a guy called Steve for some undisclosed merchandise.
Well, this looks good. I'm already knocking on at the main door.
Yeah. Oh. And you've also been you've been told to tell him that you're the Caballeria.
Steve?
Do I know what that means?
It means cavalry.
Okay, cool.
You knock. The door is kind of a huge metal door, obviously a repurposed loading dock with one of these little sort of sliders, which promptly opens. You see a couple of eyes in there, and the voice goes, "Yeah, did you forget? Hi."
Hi. I immediately look back at the others. Cavalleria?
Say what?
Cavalleria.
You're the but I thought you. Oh God.
Huh?
Yes. Of course. The hatch closes, and you hear a groaning as the door opens, and this guy in washed-out jeans, t-shirt with Daffy Duck, and some scuffed sneakers open the door.
Hi.
Oh my God. Come in, sirs, masters, lords, ladies.
I'm already walking in.
Oh, okay. You're invited. Do I have to invite you? My God, Mayor, get the map. But I always thought, get the map. Shut up.
So, I'm walking in.
Camellia is very, prying herself away from that cigarette butt. It's a...
We're gonna get along well.
Taking the risk of entering this den of...
How bad does it look?
It's very hard to tell from the outside. It's obviously not a place built for aesthetics.
So it's gonna be... Alright. A bit of dirt never hurt. Just let it go. Let it go.
Before she decides, Veronica just walks in right after Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
Not
You
taking...
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
waiting
walk
at all.
right in. And you can swear that this guy, this Steve, almost like he almost represses an instinct to bow, but then sort of corrects himself and just goes, hey. When you get in there, you see that it's a repurposed, very, very bare bones warehouse. Cinder block floors, bare benches, a few desktop computers, bare light bulbs, everything. There's a printer running back in the office, and a girl comes running. Oh my God! There's 5 of them. There's 5 of them.
Hey.
So you're the Caballera.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's just the 5 of you.
Is there any problem with that?
No, absolutely not. No, my lady, Lord, Master, what would you prefer?
Veronica.
Veronica, yes. Hurry up with the map, Mayor! The woman who is with him, long, sort of brownish hair, dressed in similar-ish jeans, sneakers, and an oversized T-shirt, comes running with a printout of a map. It's a map of the west coast of the U.S. With some lines spreading out from L.A., branching out across California, Nevada, up to Washington State, almost like a network of veins across the country. In red, of course, obviously. So, he says, and brushes his hair off. We're working on an app that takes car data from the speed trap warning app, and it applies that data to other driving data, and we can use that to estimate driving travel routes depending on the requirements of the drivers and the personality types of the ones driving. It's very it's in the early stages. It's a beta version, but the big guy, el nuevo, el nuenos, you know who I mean, right? Yeah. Sorry, of course you do. He gave me some data, and we extrapolated it
Cool.
to create this this projection of different paths that this theoretical driver might take. Feel free here.
What is your margin of error?
Well, the margin of error, if we want to, I think the margin of error for going beyond these extrapolations that we have here is, I'd say, we managed to push it to below 4%.
That is quite impressive.
Yeah.
Still
We
not-
obviously we cannot account for force majeure, and the fires all around the state have.
If there's a table or
mess
something
things
like
up.
that, I've spread the map out on that for ready to look at.
As you can see, if I might show you, the projected route it takes the target vehicle north from LA on the Highway 14 through Red Rock here and Death Valley, mostly by Highway 395. There's a brief tour in Interstate 80, and then moving on to 395, possibly 20. That is the most likely route. But of course, you can see on these other lines here, which are in darker colors. These show other alternatives of varying degrees of probability.
Is the probability rating indicated in the lines?
Oh well, the rating is depending on the thickness and color saturation of the line. The higher those are, the more likely it is. So the more the line pops, as we say, the more likely it is that the driver will use that route.
I put my finger on the most saturated line, so you say we have to go there.
Yeah. That would be my recommendation. Of course, you're free to go anywhere. I'm not going to tell you where you're going. But the way that our algorithm has projected it, and I'm pretty proud of it. I swear by it myself. Is that is the most likely route. Not
what
to
if
say that
it's
you're going
wrong?
there. It's just I just do what he tells me.
What if it's wrong?
Oh, then we have me.
Okay.
If it's wrong, I will of course be very sorry, and I will make whatever amends you deem necessary. But as I said, 4%. 4%.
And who are the others?
The others? Who?
The motorbikes?
Motorbikes?
Who else did you give the map to?
This is you. I mean, yeah, I'm giving it to you, right? There's nobody else here.
Can I?
I was gonna say.
It does
roll
not
an
seem.
insight
But,
check.
yeah. Can I
Roll
figure
six.
out
All right.
whether
Which
he's
one?
lying?
Which one of you has the highest rating of
It's not me.
wits plus insight?
I have 6.
Yeah, you
5.
have it
5.
higher than me. I also have 5.
Okay, 6. All right. Now you can roll or you can take half.
I'm gonna take half.
You're
He
gonna-
doesn't
you're
seem
gonna-
like a
you're
good
gonna take-
liar.
You're gonna take half. All right. It's obvious that he's very nervous about something, and he's probably not giving you the whole truth.
I am going to step in and use Daunt.
All right. Let's see now. Don't then go ahead and he's. I would like for you to roll anyway.
Okay.
Because he might not be. He has obviously had experience with your kind before, so it's not as if he's an entirely unsuspecting victim.
So I do add the presence roll to the intimidation roll, right?
Basically, all you do is that you do an intimidation roll, and then you add your presence. It's
so,
for free. Just do it.
So do I do charisma plus intimidation?
Yes,
Or,
charisma plus intimidation.
Okay. All
I mean,
right.
depending on, you could also, if you want to strong arm him, you could conceivably use strength plus intimidation.
No, I think charisma plus intimidation is perfect. So that would be 6 total with 100 dice. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
That is 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes.
Apparently, I should have been nicer to the die.
I don't think you're telling me the whole truth.
No, please, Veronica. They looked they had the right look, right? They came. They say they were from Nines, and I just did as what I was told, and they paid, and they paid us. We got the stuff,
So you gave them the same information that you're giving us.
I was told. I was told to give it. I was told to give it to some of you guys of your kind, and they obviously were, and they showed me the all, and so I thought. I mean, they were the guys. I wasn't told there were going to be 5 of you.
How many?
I mean, I didn't know.
How many were they?
2, I think.
And were they the ones on the motorcycles? Do you know what vehicle they were traveling in?
Yeah, I think. I think yes. Yeah. They use motorcycles. Yeah. One of them.
Right.
Did they give you a name?
No. They didn't say much. They didn't say much. They didn't. One of them didn't talk at all, and the other one was kind of not the wordy type.
Listen, now you all calm down and you'll describe them to us. Everything that you see, every single thing that might make them characteristic. We want to know the full profile.
Go on a warm-up machine. I walk out and start making sure that the other cars are also ready to head out as fast as possible.
I swear I didn't get a look at one of them. They stayed outside by the motorbike. Not very big. I'd say like he or she wore a helmet the whole time. Didn't see any face. The other was like a big guy, like biker, like big, right? Didn't wear a helmet. Didn't seem like the guy to ever wear a helmet, really. Bushy, bearded. Lots of patches.
Any recognizable patches? Specifics?
No. No. It was bands, I think, mostly. Yeah, and some army stuff. Yeah, there was some army stuff in there as well.
Hair?
No. He was bald. I don't know, shaved or whatever. Maybe that happens to you guys. I mean, does the hair fall?
No, not often. I mean, for some a lot, but not. Yes, beard. Yeah. I know. I kept thinking, like how. I mean, that's gotta get messy, right? That's gotta get messy, like all of that, getting stuck in the beard.
Stay on target, buddy.
Okay. So anyway, and I just gave them the same info as I gave. Honestly, I gave them less info than you got because they didn't stay for a chat like you do. You're much nicer. I appreciate that. Really take the time. But they just grabbed it and went like boom, like it's like 5 minutes before you guys. I mean, on the set times. I mean, if you've been here earlier, I mean, honestly, if you.
I told him we should have taken a turn at the main.
At this point, I think the car horn starts honking outside.
Yes.
One thing though, do we tell Nines about that?
Please, I'll do whatever you wish. Honestly, how could I know? How could I know?
All right, shut up. This map of yours. Shut the up. If you have any more data on the way, can we just call you or something so you can update whatever we have in there?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys, I'll be.
Talk more
I'll
with
be
this
on
guy?
call. I'll be on call. I'll give you my number. Here.
Quickly.
Let me give you my number. Jot it down on a slip of paper. Here. Please,
Thank you.
I'll any questions like you call me.
No, let's go.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay. Wait. Nines told me you'd give us some.
Hey, it's okay.
already been
Well,
paid.
when we get back. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
all right.
Bye now. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
What?
Bye.
nerve
No,
of this
Mir,
guy.
they're not getting us out. Okay, we have to make you. Okay, yeah. Good. Bye.
As
The
the
nerve.
retainer car, is that in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So while we pass that, when we go outside, I'm also gonna make eye contact with Sebastian, point to the cigarette butt, and then get into the car.
All right. Now, Margaret, let me just, to make sure you were with this group the whole time, okay? And Della, gonna get this right. So you stayed with the rest of the team there as well. Good. So now all
It
of
was
you.
only Maya that left, right?
No, Maya was the only one who left. Okay, yeah. So you bring them up and you leave. You exit, and I'm guessing you meet up in the car, the van.
The doors are open.
We do.
Yes, and well, the map is, there's nothing more to say about the map than what Steve already told you. It's basically a network of roads, mostly going from LA into Nevada, and then by slightly different routes moving up into Washington and to up to Seattle. It's pretty easy to follow in the beginning. The initial route is pretty clear. There's very little deviation, but it starts to branch off as the route gets closer to Seattle before converging on the Emerald City. Yeah,
As they
you
sit,
know how that's sorry.
as they sit down, I just make a quick check whether everybody buckles up.
No.
Yes, and I'm in the
wrinkles.
front with you.
Okay. Wanna buckle up?
Yeah.
And I floor the gas. So there too.
The yes, your crew. Because you I don't know if I mentioned this, but you do have a crew of 5. One of which is Sebastian, the old. Well, I don't want to say servant, but assistant.
He's a very dedicated personal assistant.
Yeah, he's a very dedicated personal assistant to Camellia. And then we had, was it Gary?
Yeah, we have Gary, who is actually the driver for Mayor.
Mm-hmm. Maya's driver, who is taking very good care of his Camaro
Look good so
and
far.
his Haven on wheels. And finally we have, what was the name of yours?
Dave,
Dave, that's
my
right.
dedicated personal assistant.
Exactly. You both have, yeah. It's kind of odd that a couple of you licks do not have dedicated personal assistants, but you're a special case. I mean, you've dedicated your own life to creating this perfect setup that allows you to
Gotta
roam
keep
free. And I'm guessing you're simply between assistants.
She just prefers being alone.
Mm-hmm.
She'll keep them around occasionally, but never long term.
All right. Well, thankfully, Nines has lent you a few good men, actually. Well, 2 men and a woman, who will also serve as an extra retinue of, lookouts, daylight guards, and whatever else you might find useful.
So there are 6 humans
There are
total.
6 humans all riding in. Well, let me ask you. It depends really. How many cars there are? Is it possible for 3 of them to sit up front in the Camaro and the rest of them to ride in the mobile home, or is that
I think that's
Mhm.
possible.
Yeah.
in my head that's plausible, but I actually never ridden in a mobile home.
I have, and I'm gonna say that it completely depends on the make of your mobile home because they aren't stable. House car is the Swedish word. What's the English word?
Camper.
Trailer, a camper. Yeah,
Mhm.
they're not stable like that. They have no stabilization internally.
I mean, I'm not saying it's gonna be
if you got an egg, yeah, it's definitely unpleasant.
So anyway,
Weird camper knowledge.
but this is they'll have to make 2.
Mhm.
I mean, if you say jump, they already know how high.
Sure.
So you, after a brief, after looking at the map briefly, you realize that there's not much to argue about when it comes to the first leg of the journey.
I will, however, argue with every single traffic light and speed limit.
So my current idea is I've heard the motorbikes, and motorbikes accelerate faster, but this thing very likely has a few more horsepower below the hood. So I'm currently thinking maybe we can catch up.
Maybe you can.
So I think that's how I'm going to drive.
Are we attempting to chase these
Couriers?
I was looking for the word is con artists.
At that point, I turn a very, very hard left. Yeah, so north, right?
If we believe that they are following the same track as is indicated and is not necessarily attempting to get away from us, yes.
So north.
North.
Cool. And I hit a straight and I again floor it.
All right.
Can I try something potentially? Which is to use my premonition on the map.
Here it comes! Premonition!
And in this specific premonition thing, I'm looking to see, rather than seeing, because it starts to branch, we have like a couple of hours before it branches for where we want the courier to go, right? So I'm just gonna, in general now, I just want to see if we can see how far they've gotten, or any kind of information I can get from the map.
All right.
You're gonna hate
how
this
do you do that? What is your sort of
Ritual?
Because exactly. Because I know that you see patterns in order and disorder.
Yes.
So how do you summon that kind of order disorder state in regards to the map? Do you throw breadcrumbs on it? Do you spin a pen? Do you squint at it? From a certain angle.
I think so. Normally, I would try to make something a little bit more chaotic, but this is like a printed map, so it's kind of hard.
You could scrunch it up and then look at how the
I think something like that, or doing this very quick thing where since it's already a little bit chaotic with a lot of lines happening, to just do a really quick look. But I think actually dropping something on it is funnier.
Sure.
Do you agree on this? I mean, this comes quite close to a lot of the methods that you apply. Is this something that you?
I think, seeing as this is probably Peggy's first time seeing you do something like this, I think for now she is quiet and just creepily watching you.
I do not notice that. I am busy on the map. So the problem is the driving. So this is LA. I'm assuming we still have to stop for red lights.
Oh, you have to stop for more than red lights.
So whenever we stop at a red light.
So can I use my streetwise or something like that to try to find the byways that keep me moving as much as possible? Because that's what I think is the most important thing right now. If I can get ahead of them, that's great.
I think that's reasonable. That would be an intelligence plus.
We're gonna hit lots of red lights.
Do you want to take half or risk it?
So do I round half up or down?
Down.
Damn it. I'm gonna risk it. It's not gonna get worse.
Do you want the...
I think it's not... Oh, is it that important?
Yeah.
Let's do
So
it.
this is going to become a theme. These are my favorite kind of D10. I'm not allowed to use them when it's an important roll. It hurts me.
You can't say that when
I
the
want to
other
plug them
dices
into a
can
futuristic
hear you.
computer and get the data
You
from
make
them.
me sad.
Well, so far they seem to be okay with it. This seems like one success, which
All
is what
right.
we've gotten anyway.
It's well, you do know some byways, but so do a lot of other people.
Damn it.
So
yeah, you will have time to...
So this is where a motorcycle would have the advantage.
Yay.
You are slugging it along. I mean, it's not rush hour traffic, but I have it on authority that it's going to take you somewhere around 2 to 3 hours just to get out of LA, which gives you plenty of time to chat. Some of you haven't even met each other. You all, are all vaguely familiar, at least with each other, because let's face it, even though LA is big, there's a limited amount of vampires, although in recent years the numbers have grown. Especially the thin bloods seems to be breeding like rats. Even the so-called liberal-minded anarchs tend to use that kind of language regarding the Duskborn, as they call themselves.
Do you want me to do the premonition roll?
Oh, yes!
I figured out how I do it. I take out the pen that I have for my day
Yes.
planner that I shouldn't be having, and I fold the map and I prick it through on the back side, see where it ends.
Okay. Now, when you use premonition as an active power, it requires you to rouse the blood. So you need to make a rouse check as well.
Cool.
And that risks increasing your hunger. But hey,
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's
it's fine.
early. Sebastian's in the car and he's not driving. So
all right. And what you're going to do now is the premonition roll. Did we write that up, or do I have to look
I
through
have
this?
a premonition roll. Yes, it's rest plus auspex.
Resolve plus aspects, yes.
Oh, that's not bad.
As you do that, I want you to simultaneously roll a regular d10 with numbers, and that is the rouse check.
Okay, so there's a regular D10.
I wouldn't call it that, but let's use it for
It
This
is a
is
very
one
regular
of the
D10.
magic
All right.
D10s.
Okay.
And then I have 3
Yeah. The thingy.
Oh.
and
Yeah.
1 for so. Oh, do we want to use that one?
So this is a way to speed things up, in that you roll the rouse check simultaneously as you use the power.
So let's see. I have 1, 2.
And if the rouse die,
So 5 and one of the 5s should be a hunger die, right?
yes, and then you add the rouse check die, which isn't part of the pool, but will just declare whether you increase hunger or not.
All right. This is the first time for me using these kind of wonderful, beautiful, really good, very nice dice as
Yeah,
well.
they are
So,
good
but you can
dice,
help
aren't
me
they?
read them for you if
Wonderful.
I fuck it up.
Add the rouse die.
Am I adding it at the same time?
Yeah, add it
cool.
to the same. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's do it.
We aim for a 1 roll.
So,
So I count 3 successes, nothing
Yeah.
extraordinary, and a 5, so you get more hunger.
Now the sense that you get, I mean the pen that you use, it penetrates the map just at the entrance to the Red Rock Canyon. So you assume that means they're going there, and or that's the route they're taking. It's all along the predicted courier route. So there's really no surprise. It's just more or less confirms what the Steve's map already tries to predict.
So good news and good news. Steve's projection, the margin of error, does not extend to the things he was the most certain of. So we are supposed to go to Red Rock Canyon. And the other good news is that it seems like that is also potentially where the motorcycle people are gathering.
All of this is conjecture, of course, on your part. All you know is
All I know is that the path
pen
is pointing this way.
The pen
I
penetrated
am
at the
not
right spot.
entirely certain, but the universe has set a path for us, and it's the same path as on the map, so that is good.
Let me ask you, what did the rouse check do?
5.
5. This took a toll on your resources, and you feel the tug of hunger in your veins. You will now add a hunger die to your pool, and no, that's not a hunger die.
It is.
They're red dice.
Oh yeah, but shouldn't you use these ones?
Yeah, but you have those over there. I don't have those.
All right, just give
we
her.
don't have enough here. Okay.
All right, no, we should have enough so that everybody can escalate up to
This is going to happen in a few
quite entertaining amounts of hunger.
Underneath the table we go.
More dice.
Okay, so
Now,
we're not.
as your hunger increases, of course, you will be rolling more hunger dice in every pool, and the risks of your hunger getting the better of you increases. But there's always the option of taking half if you feel like you're attempting something that should be easy and do not want to risk freaking out over it. Good. And there you go. You're 5 vampires stuck in traffic.
I look at her curiously when she's doing the whole pen thing. And when she finishes and announces her little premonition, I ask her, so you are one of those that know things?
Yes. I mean, not necessarily. I don't know things. I just get the information.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Certainly.
Does it work often?
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
It doesn't. But it's always fascinating to see how they do it.
I heard of situations in which it works, actually.
Yes, it
And
does, sometimes. but not often.
So what is your way of tackling things like that?
I don't.
So how do you know things?
Well, I read them in books, of course.
I see. So you're the book person.
Yes.
I think it's a good moment to talk about something that we, I think, haven't talked before.
It's going to be a left up here, but
Oh, somebody's honking their horn.
sorry.
What are you guys good at? I know you're ready. You're good at books, right?
Yes.
So that conveys
What do you mean?
when we will be in situations, which we will probably be, considering the nature of our quest. How can we use you? Why were you chosen to come with us?
Oh, I mean, you could say that I was chosen because of my extensive knowledge in books and rituals and everything, but I'm going to tell you a little secret there. It was honestly purely spite from my sire's side.
That's
She
great.
doesn't think I can do it, so I'm going to need to prove her wrong.
What about you? Pretty face.
You just said it. I'm a pretty face.
I mean, that's useful in many situations.
Mm-hmm.
And you? Are you good in driving only? Or do you know other things?
I mean, I know part of the road.
All right.
And,
And you know things.
well, yes, I know things. I can also... I'm quite good at
Boom!
organizing.
You stop for a moment there. The car in front of you just braked.
Ow.
You have to step on the
Idiot.
brakes. So you go.
I bet you're sad you weren't wearing your seatbelts now.
Yes, I can find things if needed. But what about you? Sorry,
Veronica, hi.
Veronica, right?
Yeah, well, I can fight, I guess.
Oh, that's useful.
I think so. You know, as much as chasing people on motorbikes contains reading books, I'm not really sure of. Knowing things can be useful. Driving, I guess so. Being pretty, maybe. I think it's the fist that we're going to use the most. I really hope not, but, you know, in case, I'm your guy. Or girl, actually.
I'm just happy that we all have such a diverse set of skills and backgrounds that we can accomplish this task together.
You could call that this way.
Almost as if somebody planned it.
Almost as if the universe has a plan.
Well, you were recruited individually, so obviously somebody had your particular skill sets in mind, as well as reasons for your participation. Yes. So you keep driving. Still a lot of awkward silence. But that's to be expected. You know.
At some point, I try the radio station going to some sort of classic rock.
No.
No.
Yeah, why not? What's the problem?
Well, you know you.
Old.
Well, classic rock actually works. That's fine. That's
Yeah.
pretty smooth.
And a fight about radio station starts.
So what would you prefer?
Anything but this. Literally anything but this.
Classical? Jazz?
Sure.
Blues?
Sure.
Really?
Sure.
I look around. I hit the randomizer basically. I let the
Ooh.
I let it go until the next station comes up.
It's news. It's a news bulletin.
I move
about,
on.
Okay. Not keeping abreast of the news.
Nope.
I'm just texting Sebastian, going like, "Did you pick up the cigarette butt?"
Which, by the way, every once in a while, out of the open window goes the next one, and then the next one.
You're
and the next
smoking in the car?
one. Yeah.
At least
Now,
we
of
can't
course,
say-
on the subject of texting, let us talk a bit about that. While the Camarilla have nowadays very strict draconic laws about usage of information technology, it's mostly the elders who don't understand it, so they want to ban it from everybody because they think it caused a crackdown on the Kindred. The Anarchs, on the other hand, are less inclined to follow those kinds of mandates. Still, you need to be careful. While nothing prevents you from having your personal phones, any and all such pieces of equipment can be tracked. And you know that. This has been drilled into you. The Kindred lifestyle is basically that of a professional criminal, with all of that, which that entails. But you do have, as part of the package given to you by Nines, you have a number of burner phones, cheap disposable phones wrapped in tin foil as to not to be tracked, that you can use once each. You have 3 such phones, which means you have 3 phone calls that you can make either to Nines, who has promised to be available, or to any of your contacts or other people, such as Steve, that you might want to contact.
So, question: we do not have any of our personal devices, no access to internet or anything like that.
No, you can if you want to. Nobody is forbidding you from doing it. I'm just telling you that,
We have 3 safe phone calls.
Yeah, you have 3 safe phone calls. The rest is at your own risk.
All right.
I will be taking notes. So that is a great segue now into a bit more of an in-depth introduction to this diverse crowd of supernatural predators crowding together in this car. What did you bring? Obviously, you had time to put on something at least approximately practical for the trip. I mean, this is you spending what might be even a week out in on unknown roads, on places without any kind of safety net, no servants other than the retainers that you brought with you, no contacts, nobody to bail you out, and foremost among things, no haven other than that which you bring with you. So you've had a few hours to prepare. So I'd like each one of you to think about and maybe even tell the rest of the group what you have brought with you. What you got from Nines, apart from the retainers and the burner phones, is also a choice stock of 3 sealed bottles of blood sorcery prepared blood. I mean, usually...
Per person or
no,
total?
In total. This stuff does not come cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there are... you could always bring untreated blood, what do you call it, diffractionized blood in blood bag before it has been treated for medical use. But even that is very, very hard to swallow. And, you're probably better off just, if worst comes to worst, trying to find, livestock or something to feed from. But this is the real deal. This is what one of the things the hematics, the thaumaturgs, the Tremere do best, is that they work with blood, and they are experts at preserving it, making them a very, especially among the Anarchs that have, comparatively few of that clan, make them very valuable. And you have 3 such bottles with you, each of which in game terms will satisfy, let's say, 3 levels of hunger.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So basically,
that is nice.
Yeah, that is nice. That's your reserve stash. Obviously, that will not last the entire trip, but you are expected to make do with what you find as well.
I'm going to assume that we have all the stuff that we have been given in the van that we have been given with us right now.
Yeah.
Cool.
If there's anything else you would have liked to brought with you, either personal stuff or stuff that could have easily been arranged by such a valued member of the Anarch movement on short notice, do tell.
Right. I think I'm going to start because it's pretty easy for me. I brought my home.
Hmm?
Gary, who has been gently interrogated about his driving ability before he got the keys, was handed the keys to a 1971 Chevy Camaro. I hope it's a Chevy, otherwise I'm very, very much embarrassed on the camera. Which drags a vintage, also kind of 70s style, but honestly looks a little like it was made to look like that, camper trailer. What some of you might have heard about me, because Maya has a bit of a name, is that guy sleeps in a fake gas tank below his trailer man kind of thing, which is what I do. So I have basically, to me, this is on a certain level nothing more or less than my normal life. I definitely know the roads here. I definitely have been to northern LA and even beyond that occasionally over the years. And so I have what I would normally have. I suppose I was about to get myself a few more road maps, might have actually done that. I was told that there would be something else, so that was not the highest priority. I don't think I brought that much else. Ultimately, I'm here to reach somebody.
Yep.
I know how to do that.
Anyone else?
I definitely brought a large amount of luggage, which was my go bag that Dave procured for me because he knows my needs.
Yeah.
And he's ready to go at a moment's notice. So in these large suitcases are a lot of the accoutrements for my various personas, so wigs, disguise kit, different wardrobes. But I also have a small surveillance kit with wireless cameras in there as well. And I also travel with a Surface Pro that Dave currently has as well.
Ah, of course. You come prepared.
I do.
Yes.
I have Technology 3, by the way.
I believe that Peggy is traveling. She bought like a shabby, like British military style tent with her.
Oh.
Because she does not want to share a sleeping arrangement with anyone else. She likes being alone, so she's gonna like camp next to the van or something. So she bought a tent and books.
So prior to dawn, you will pitch a tent, a sunproof tent.
Yes. Oh, I thought obviously sunproof.
A sunproof tent. And pray to whatever deities that you, or is it deities?
Well, if it's not in a suitable location, she will sleep with
I mean, you will
everyone
obviously.
else.
We will do it in
Yes.
Secluded areas.
No, but I mean in proximity to the
Yes.
van. Yeah.
Yes, she's not
So
gonna.
that, I mean, you will
wander off for
you will,
kilometers.
you will obviously enjoy the.
It's
the
more a case of
same-
not wanting to sleep next to someone else.
Yeah. Okay. All right. No, that's that makes sense. Makes sense.
And books.
And,
Lots
and
of books.
books. Yes,
Lots
books in general.
Yes,
Just
just
as long
books
as
in
it has a
general.
cover and papers, it's fine.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
If anybody wants to start making bets about our survivability, I'm not taking them.
Well, it's obviously somebody thought that you were capable, disposable,
Available.
or both.
So I have everything that I have in my purse, which is a lot of cleaning supplies and changes of clothing, specifically 3 other white shirts that are vacuum packed and sealed inside my bag. Kleenex, different chemicals, that kind of thing, surgical gloves. Then Sebastian, of course, packed everything else that we need, and it's with him. Also, the same amount of changes of clothes for him. But also, the big thing that he bought is sleeping gear, but also a containment-proof body bag, which is the kind you use when you think that the body might be infected with diseases that can carry through air. So they are completely sealed. Just in case. Just in case you have to sleep somewhere that's awful. And also probably a printed thing with a ton of like motels out across any kind of different path. And I also still have my phone. It's a late model Galaxy. And I use it for mostly communicating with Sebastian on. And most of the stuff that is on there is "you're late," bring the thing, pick up the thing.
Yes.
Oh, I should maybe mention, I have a mobile phone. It's one of those good old Nokia bricks, the ones that will survive all of us.
Yeah.
I have a
with
Galaxy
physical
S8.
physical
They're
buttons and everything.
Two, 3 generations behind.
I also have several phones. Burners of my own.
Several phones. Yes. These you guys are connected. And I don't mean that in a good way.
So Veronica, she has actually just a regular black suitcase with clothing and basic stuff that she needs for the road. But she also brought with herself a very expensive, high-end sleeping bag, which is like fully zipped to the back. So basically, in case the dawn comes, she will probably stay with someone else, specifically someone who already has some kind of security, for example, a retainer, and she will just zip herself in a very comfortable sleeping bag fully. And she will get out of the back when the evening will come. She also brought a knife, a hunting knife that she carries with her, and she asked Nines for one favor, which was to get her a gun. She doesn't know much about guns, but she did shoot in the shooting range, so she has some experience.
Yeah.
But she just got a regular gun and some ammunition.
A regular gun.
Regular
yeah,
gun.
It has like a
Regular gun.
there's a handle like in a trigger, and there's
It's a
it's a
Glock or
barrel
something.
that's,
Yeah. She knows how to operate it, but
heavy stuff comes out at high velocity and then damages stuff.
yes.
Yes.
That's exactly what the kind of item it is. yeah.
Exactly.
And she has a phone on which she has like the basic security, like a VPN and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that depends on. I mean, depending on your tech skill, you might be more or less safe using as you do, for example, using VPN and so on. I mean, it won't prevent dedicated trackers from finding you, but it can at least avoid, cursory detection.
Yeah.
Veronica raises an interesting question here. Does anybody else carry, as in firearms?
No, not really guns kind of guy.
No, never felt the need.
Nothing? No.
I mean, I've got by now 2 cars.
Yeah.
I've got books.
That is true. That does qualify as a blunt instrument.
I have a ton of chemicals, but
Yeah.
I have Instagram.
Can you swing those
Oh,
books
God.
hard enough to hit someone?
Definitely.
Okay, I
Right.
count on that.
Fair enough. You're, after all, undead apex.
On that note, how many Instagram posts have happened since we got back in the car?
Do you really want to know?
No.
You can tell me.
Hashtag road trip.
oh no!
This is gonna end well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You,
Yeah, no.
as I said, you've managed to sort of zigzag your way out of LA proper, and as housing gives way to commercial districts, to industrial districts, to no districts at all.
Cruising
you
at
see,
a comfortable 15 above speed limit if I can.
the terrain becomes more and more, I want to say deserted, but I actually mean it's more like desert. So after a while, it's more dry, sort of dry vegetation. The occasional pole going by, remnants of an wired age that went by too fast. And you are sort of easing yourself up into a comfortable cruising speed as fast as you can go. You have to sort of you need to keep pace with the Camaro. I think the Myers Camaro and the trailer are the ones sort of setting the limit. I do believe that the van could go faster, but your trailer could not. Is that true?
I mean, it's not a weak machine, but given the amount of people in there, I think you're right. Then again, I mean, so I think I'm gonna outrun our friends a little bit. Okay?
You think you're going to do what?
I'm gonna outrun our friends a little bit. I don't see why I need to stay right behind them all the
They
time.
do not have the map.
Huh. Okay. And I keep pace with the thing.
Right. All right. So you are comfortably cruising along the road, and up ahead you start to see the slopes of the Red Rock Canyon, a majestic place of primeval proportions. Reddish rock terraced, rises up on both ends. It's actually a national park, a sign tells you, although you guess that the visitors are long gone by now. It's way past midnight, and there's a gibbous moon in the sky.
That's what I haven't heard in a long time.
You outpace your retinue, the people in Maya's Camaro, and you enter the sort of canyon valley proper.
So, seeing as it was pointed out to me, I'm going to very likely still stay ahead of them a little bit because I'm getting impatient, but try to make sure that we stay within viewing distance, which up until the valley very likely wasn't that difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't we brought walkie-talkies? I always have to think about everything,
Should
don't
have
I?
brought walkie-talkies.
We have phones. Why?
We don't use phones. Do you use your phone right now?
No. No. Phones.
Wait a second. I saw you online, haven't I?
Maybe. Probably.
So you're one of
I'm
those...
known in certain circles.
Oh, so you're one of those influencer things.
Mm-hmm. Your words, not mine.
All right. Question. Were you doing any of this influencing while we were in the car?
That's probably not a very good idea.
It's okay.
Yes, the lighting is horrendous.
Well, yours is. I have tools.
I think she brought her own.
Ah,
I have tools.
Resourceful.
It's not a big deal.
Very.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure about your tools?
Positive.
All right.
Who are sitting in the front? Okay. Now, what's your wits plus alertness?
You mean awareness, right?
Sorry, wits plus
Thank
awareness.
you, just making sure. 4 die.
so for me, wits
Holy
plus
fuck.
awareness
Yeah,
is...
I'm not relevant.
Oh, it's hard to count. It's so many.
So many of them.
7
7. Well, in that case, would you do the honors?
of rolling.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Because nothing bad is going to happen in this canyon at all.
Oh, it's such a friendly little canyon. What could possibly
I
go
think
wrong?
we need
Be a
more
great
die.
place for a photo
2,
shoot.
Can we have a few
4, 5,
more
6,
black
7.
die?
No, because I do have my hunger die,
Oh,
right?
wonderful. We don't
So
need...
I just
sorry.
substitute. I don't
Yes,
add
exactly.
them.
Yes, you do.
So yes, that one counts. I assume
Anything that goes in the box counts.
everything that goes in the box counts. That is 4 successes. None of that. Yeah.
4 successes. You actually do, as you cruise along there, you notice something along the road. And you notice it quick enough to sort of nudge Meyer in the arm for him to notice it too. It looks like something has laid something along the road, possibly an obstacle of some sort.
Oh, trap!
And it's you're approaching it at very high speed. Well,
Okay, tell me if I don't recognize all of this in a split second, but is it something that seems to be so localized that I could just floor it and outpace it, or is this so long that I should be, or that I would...
you would
Is
you,
it pretty
you
long?
would you would need to slow down.
All right.
You would need to slow. Maybe if you slow down, you could probably just circumvent it. It doesn't cross the entire road.
All right, so in that case, hit the brakes off the shoulder of the road at a place where that seems possible, and
Do
then...
a drive check
Well, no,
or take half.
so that's dexterity and drive, right?
In this case, no. I'd say wits.
Wits and drive. Okay, that halves that part. Don't think my stunt specialty is going to come into this, so
Nope.
5 die.
All right.
That's 1 less here, 1 less there. Should have waited a little longer so it would be nothing but a twitch reaction.
Yeah, but that's wits.
Damn
Wits, wits is twitch.
Okay, I misunderstood something. 4 successes, one of them hungry.
Oh, no, that doesn't mean anything. Okay, that's easy. You step on the brakes, you ease down. I mean, it's your passengers hardly even feel a thing as you approach. It looks like a kind of a sloppily applied. Is it a bike rack?
Oh.
It doesn't even stretch across the road, and as you break down, your retainers, your car, the Camaro passes by you and sort of circumvents you and goes on. It also passes a spike trap.
Passes.
Yeah,
Great.
pass it, no problem.
Gary, you're a good guy. All right,
Then it explodes.
The spike trap?
Your Camaro goes up in a ball of flame. It skids around, flips, takes the trailer with it, bounces across the road. The entire car a flaming wreck, the flames spreading over the trailer that skids, sparks flying. You've just gotten up speed. Do another drive check.
I put points into that background, man. Still wits?
Still wits, yes.
All right. And I'm not stunting. So that is, it's only one crit, unfortunately, but it's 3 successes.
3 successes, okay. You do manage to, halt the car, decently enough in order not to sort of to crash into what is becoming like a huge burning obstacle
it
in the
literally
path.
just kind of crossed our path off the road.
Literally crossed your path.
All right.
Something happened to it that just threw it off the road.
All right.
Blowing out, windows, everything. You managed to point to a stop. I want you to roll a. Does anybody else have premonition?
No.
I come to premonition again. You do not need to do a rouse check because now this is very. This is reflexive. Yes.
Yeah, 2 and 3.
All right.
I look back and go,
it's
trouble.
only one success.
It's only one success. But that success, something still tells you that you have no idea what it is, but you do know that your mind just screams of danger. The way of the placement of the hills, the way a ridge is where it shouldn't be, all of it pointing towards you from the right side of the road. You do know that the mountain is about to fall on you or something.
The mountain is going to come down. We need to get out of here, but also the car.
So we are in a canyon. There's not that much room left and right.
There is actually there is more room to the left. The right side, it's not so much a canyon as it's as you're passing basically a ridge of terraced, rock, reddish rock, and the other side is much less steep. It's more plain. It's cluttered with rocks and bushes and so on.
Okay.
So it's not it's not a classical like ambush canyon or anything, but you do have a sort of a rising rising hills
Still,
on the right side.
Still anything but good. So I hear that. I go, okay. I floor it and I try to obviously go around the flaming wreck and then try to move away from this spot as fast as possible in the car.
But what is the chance of survivors in the other 2?
That's
vehicles?
very low.
I saw a fireball and I'm not liking it. Do I do another drive check or?
No, as you start the car, there is something hits your car as if a giant's fist had slammed into it. Boom! And it almost pushes you a bit out of track, and steam starts going out of the hood.
I would like
do
to
another drive check.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot of drive checks now.
Yeah, I have the impression that this car is not at peak performance anymore. And I have 1 success.
That looks like 2.
No, this is a skull, so... No, actually, you're right, it's 2. My bad. Thank you.
What game are you playing?
A bad one. So, 2 successes.
2 successes.
And possibly
You
one.
manage to stop. There is a huge hole, like somebody punched like a large caliber bullet right into the hood of the car. Up front, you can see shapes moving around the wrecked Camaro.
I would like to activate heightened senses, please.
Please do. Are you still in the car?
It's a bit risky,
Like-
but you can do that.
I mean, is it stopped?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to floor it, and at that point, I suppose that any reaction to that stopped. So
Yeah.
I'm
He
gonna-
tried to floor it. The car that was instantly stopped.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm going to get out, and also, while we're done with that, I want to activate Share the Senses. and
Wait,
see
you're
if I
getting
can-
out of a car?
Are we not? Like, what are we doing? I want to see if Sebastian has a chance of making it. Like,
They haven't made it. Just agree with it.
I can check.
No, you cannot check.
Actually, I can check.
the car ain't moving. I'm getting out.
Meyer is getting out. You can hear voices from up ahead over the diminishing roar of the flames. Get in there and mop up. Come on, let's do this and get out of here.
I want to do I want to let you roll first, but I want to do this as a reaction, is to check if I can get contact with Sebastian, and if I can't, I'm gonna go share the senses with the other two, which if I can see them.
You cannot see them.
I can't see them.
You
okay,
cannot see them.
anyway.
No.
I got 3 successes.
You on what?
Heightened senses?
You don't even roll.
Oh, okay.
No, just do it. Heightened senses. You can activate that whenever. The only drawback is that you might get overwhelmed
Sure.
by strong sensations. Anybody else? Do you all want to get out of the car?
I groan because I really don't want to get out of a car so quickly, but as they went first and they obviously don't know how to fight, then I follow them. And I
Peggy-
also tell Peggy very quickly, bring those books, heavy ones.
I think Peggy's going to look over on the driver's side and it's like, maybe I should. No, I can't. Oh, I'm on this mission now. And then she like grabs one of the bigger books and then she follows
Good.
Veronica and comes out.
So you you take your time. So you bring some books and get out.
I immediately get out after
immediately get
these
out.
guys.
And you
I rush out of the car.
rush out of the car. Bring anything with you?
Nope.
Oh.
So
Well, my phone.
I bring my gun and my knife, of course, but yeah.
I'm getting out. I'm hearing voices. There is a bit of light coming off of the flaming wreck.
Yes.
Do I see anybody approaching?
You start to see shapes moving among the fire. It looks like a group of people, possibly armed. They look, kind of, they don't look like, they do not look like professionals. They look, as you can see, more like they're all dressed in sloppy army fatigues, a couple of leather, some cheap leather maybe, jeans and so on.
Do they smell like humans?
How would you know? They,
Heightened senses.
you still cannot smell them over the stench of the burning gasoline. There's a car burning on the road. You just stop. The smell, whatever smell they have, is totally overpowered by the smoke coming out of the Camaro and the adjoining trailer. I do believe, though, that who of you does have the highest rating of let's say wits, intelligence and occult. Intelligence and occult.
Just 2.
None.
7.
7, good. You can roll or take half.
Oh, I'm rolling. I want to roll.
Yeah,
I haven't
do
got
it.
to roll yet.
Rolling.
Just 1 of that.
Yeah, one hunger.
And 4 more black
4
ones.
black ones.
There we go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Ooh.
Oh, Lord.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You are very sure that whoever the people are that are stalking the wreckage of the Camaro, they are most likely, or you're pretty certain that they are not Kindred.
That was not
They
7.
don't act the way Kindred do in the face of fire. They seem pretty unbothered by it as they move along, pointing whatever accessories they have at hand. Some seem to have guns. A couple of them have like some kind of like metal bars. They look more and more like thugs the more you look at them. You're all. Where are you exiting the car?
I'm getting off by the driver's side, which I think would put me on the lit side of the whole thing if I got the scene right, depending on how I turned. But I'm going to try to get to the other side.
No, I think what has happened now is we should really draw this. So this is the road. Here is cliff. This is more like bushes and rocks. Here is the Camaro that has kind of lying on its side. The trailer kind of jackknifed. There is your car, which is... So the way you stopped it is that basically it's pointing to the right, and the left side, the driver's side, is towards the Camaro. Okay, that means that you are here. And then there's fire, mostly from the actual Camaro, but some of it is also stock. It's a lot of smoke coming up from the trailer as well. And then there are people coming in from this direction. I'm gonna draw some little stick figures here. You get the point. And there's somebody behind them yelling. Possibly orders. It's hard to make out. I want to, if all of you can sort of draw where you are, and I can start dealing with the consequences.
This flank is where the people are coming from, if I got that
No,
right.
the people are coming from behind the bend, bend here.
So
I'm
going to try to be roundabout here, try to basically lurk in the shadows, seeing who goes in that direction first, and I'm waiting for somebody to basically be in pounceable range.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm going to hand over to you.
So
do you want me to do something like a stealth roll?
No, let's. I want to know what everybody does. Ideally, we should go from left to right, but since you got the paper first, then you just. Then once I know what you're doing, we can deal with whatever rolls are.
So what I'm doing is very dependent on whether or not I could get any contact with Sebastian, because I don't know if he was in the car or in the trailer.
Right. Okay. No, you are not getting anything. It's either he is unconscious or he is dead.
Stay in the car.
There is a chance that I just stay in the car.
You got a really strong premonition that staying in the car would be
a bad idea. So I'm just gonna follow you and be, I think, right there, and then I'll see if I just hide. At this point, I'm just shocked.
Yeah. Hi. And I look forward.
Well, I'm not even I'm looking at you. I'm looking at something way
here,
ahead.
right?
That's all
Yeah,
fine.
the bad guys are coming from here.
Yeah, right behind
There's
the car,
the
right?
exploded car. Here's the van.
Yeah. So you're here,
Yeah,
alright?
and toward the front.
Karim, to use this time efficiently, I'm going to do my rouse check on prowess for this scene.
Yeah, you activate prowess.
Yes.
Question, do I have to activate toughness?
And I get
yes, it's one rouse check and lasts for a scene, so you can get that up and running as well.
I would love to do that then.
Then you do that.
Can I do it with this regular roll, or do I need to? Okay, there we go. It's a failure.
Yep.
Yay, hunger!
All of you are getting hungrier.
So Veronica would actually step a little bit back, just so she can have a better look on the scene.
Okay.
So she will be, basically she'll be more visible by those approaching if they approach closer, but she would also have a better lookout on everything.
All right.
I would also like to activate awe.
Where's Peggy?
Awe is free.
Yep.
She's coming out of the car.
I'm also activating Dawn's, I believe.
Yeah,
Dawn's and toughness.
That's just
I think she's
You can use it whenever.
a little bit.
It's okay.
To hunger.
I would look really cool if this were a moving car fight.
Yes. No, this is not a moving car fight. These cars are likely
X-cars.
unlikely to be moving much more. Maybe. I mean, you haven't got a chance to assess the damage to the van yet, but there's a huge hole in it, like something.
And it's on fire.
No,
van is not.
the van is still not on fire.
Oh,
It's,
the
it's
van
just
isn't on
smoke
fire.
coming out of the hood. The other one is on fire. There's something. I mean, that one was hit by something fierce. It just boom exploded.
No survivors.
In the actual car, you'd say almost impossibly. Maybe in the trailer. And on the subject of the trailer, as you all exit the car, you hear a number of bangs followed by thuds, and large holes appear on the side of the trailer that is facing the mountain on the left side of the trailer. Boom, boom, boom.
So on the far side for us.
So it looks like somebody is shooting something really, really heavy into it from somewhere,
Not around the bend.
No.
it's
From
From a
up,
different.
from somewhere up the mountain.
Okay.
Get in there and clean up. Let's make sure we get them all out of here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is gonna go well, guys.
No shit.
But I can come with some good news. They're human.
How do we know?
I know.
We all hear this?
Yeah, I'm kind of shouting it so you all hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anybody?
Bang! You're standing right
Yeah.
there in the open, talking about what to do, and then bang! Somebody shoots you. And let's see how well they shoot you. You're unprepared for this, so you're not really trying to dodge or anything. So you just get shot. Boom!
Ow.
That's 5 points of damage, but it's superficial because you're a vampire. So I would ask you to subtract or note 3 points of superficial damage to you.
Question: who is closest to her currently?
Closest out of you,
Yeah, out of us, all of us.
that's Della.
All right.
Oh shit.
Is she able to drag her away from the open? Because is she like falling, or is she still standing after the shot?
She's reeling.
She's
I'd say she's reeling. This was a low caliber shot, just a handgun. So she's not being shot with whatever is shooting at the cars.
Break her behind the cover.
Can I do awareness or investigation to see if I can I just want to spot one person. Like you can tell me if there's a chance to spot the person on the ridge.
You can do that, but you would need a couple of seconds of really looking for them. Are you? Let's see. You are decently in cover. You're behind the corner of the car, so you're looking up the ridge. You need to do a resolve plus awareness check to really squint and find whoever is up there.
Meantime, I scream at Della to get her behind the cover if possible.
Grab and drag.
So
All right.
at this
shit, are you
stage, I
okay?
would like to sort of let's
into
move
combat
into
mode?
let's
Sure.
move into a more structured mode here, because everybody is doing everything at the same time, which is of course what's happening. But so I want to know, once you've now been shot, Margaret or Peggy, what do? You can see at least 2 of these gunmen approaching. There are bullets of a completely different caliber slamming into the wrecked trailer. And Well, what's
she's
your...
pissed.
You're pissed, okay.
So angry. So I'm like, if you're trying to drag me to cover, I'm like, let me get at them.
Okay, so your plan is to try to...
Get to them.
Yeah, try
Yes,
to
absolutely.
engage one of the gunmen in fisticuffs.
Absolutely.
I would try to stop her.
Same.
Okay. As she's doing that, you two are both pulling at her. Okay, so both of you are dragging her back. Where are you dragging her? You are standing out here in the... Sorry, I'm getting out of shot again. You are standing out here in the open, right? Mm-hmm. There's obviously some kind of fusillade coming from this side of the road. Somebody who is firing at the cars. And then you have these people moving up towards you. Where do you go? There is cover on this side. There are bushes as well as rocks. The place is littered with sort of rock formations. The same kind of red rock that you see on the ridges here.
I would like to drag her this way while also looking here and pointing my gun this way.
Okay,
So I'm pointing my gun with one hand and dragging her.
You're pointing, so you're covering her, dragging her towards cover on some side
Yes.
here on the road. Yeah.
And when I am in the opening here, I just have my gun out, and if I see anyone, I shoot.
Okay, fair enough. You do. One of the other one of the gunmen, the rest seem to be still looking through the wreckage, is moving on towards you. You?
So once we're behind the rock, and we're like safely in cover.
Mm-hmm.
With awe active, I'm gonna hop on top of the rock and do a whole Moses thing, being like, "Idiots, please stop firing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to hurt you."
All right. You're going to have to shout quite loud to be heard over the din of the fire and the gunshots.
What are you doing?
Maya.
So, guess we're
You
doing
just-
this.
you-
Do I see somebody?
Yes, you see somebody.
All right.
You are well within range of whoever it was that fired upon Margaret.
Okay. I, after having said that, lunge forward, trying to grab them by the throat and just drag them over my hip to the ground. And then, honestly, if I break their windpipe, that's just fine with me.
Fair enough.
Awareness, looking at the ridge, trying to see if I can
Yes,
spot a person.
good.
And if I can, I
No,
will try
that's
share
yeah,
it.
exactly that.
Yeah.
So,
Different role.
but you take cover doing so.
Yeah.
You move towards cover doing so. You're out in the open, standing on the rock, being all Moses, and you're kind of in the open, but involved.
I'm breaking
yeah,
cover.
Yeah,
But I'm moving.
I will need you. Okay, we have a number of things will happen now. Let's start with. Let's see. There's no melee combat, so let's skip that. Then there is shooting. No, you are going into melee combat.
I hope that
We're
was
not
fast enough.
starting around melee combat. We are going to do this by the book.
I'm looking forward to that.
So anyway, there's no engaged melee combat, so we move on to shooting, and that's you and whoever is shooting back at you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically you're engaged in a moving shootout with another shooter. So do a firearms check. This is a I would say this is a composure plus firearms roll.
That's going to be a tough roll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. That's 3 successes.
Whoa!
Three
nice.
successes. Well,
Dope.
you both fire at each other. You cover your exit from the road well enough that none of you get shot at, but you don't seem to manage to hit the other one as well. Instead, you are driving him or her back. It's hard to see whether it's a man or a woman.
Mm-hmm.
You are being dragged, I'm guessing. Let's see how far you're being dragged.
So resist your friends.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be like a strength versus strength test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just roll.
Okay, well,
Just
I
roll
only
your
have 2 in strength.
Do strength plus athletics, both of you.
Well, 2.
1 success. All right, and I have 4.
Yeah, I'm assuming you have more.
It looks like dragging is going to happen.
Actually, can I take half?
Yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
I'm taking half. Yes.
But sure.
Yeah.
You can take half. You're being dragged whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
You're making a good effort to resist. It's not entirely effortless, but you're still being dragged. You are, you're standing there, trying to be heard over the din, convinced of your own immortality, when a bullet slams into you, and I'm not talking small arms bullets. It hits you.
That thing just
It hits
wrecked
you,
our van.
It hits you hard.
Oof.
At least her face was pretty.
Well, it's you're lucky, or the devil takes care of its own. So the bullet hits you in the abdomen,
Ouch.
but it doesn't go through your spine. Just completely obliterates your pancreas or liver or whatever whatever you still have down there. Hits the ground behind you, creating a bloody crater. You take 3 points of superficial damage. This
And she's being pushed from the rock.
oh
behind
yeah,
us.
she
Oh,
goes
yeah, for sure.
flying. I mean,
Good.
this is she just goes spread eagle back up, poof, luckily landing behind the rock, out of sight of whoever did that.
Was I able to say the thing before I got shot?
You said things.
Okay, but no one heard? And no
Doesn't-
one was odd?
No one was odd. I'm terribly sorry. It seems like I'm sure it was a great thing to say. There's just nobody interested in listening at this very moment.
Cool.
No.
The
Put
lighting was bad.
Put a pin in it. You lunge towards the assailant. Now, I would like you, before you do this, to remember that the assailant is still pretty close to a wreck that is burning. So you will need to take a fear frenzy check, although it's going to be...
That was my car. I'm going in there. I'm fine with that.
So I'd like you to do a fear frenzy check,
I feel
which
that
is
that's-
going to be...
Can I please have a thank you?
That's your
many die do you need?
willpower plus 2, because you have a humanity of 6.
Right. So that's 7 die. And
Yeah.
I don't
no,
have
yeah,
hunger
yes,
guy
yeah, you haven't
powers.
spent any willpower, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. But just no hunger dice. This
Thank
is-
you. So there are 2 reds here. I'm just
Yeah,
going to
don't-
roll with it.
yeah,
Ha ha ha.
yes, it's fine.
So
It's
I
fine.
count.
Yeah.
I count. I just like to say this because this is the first time I'm getting a crit here. I count 7 successes on this.
Yeah, it's fine. The fire means nothing to you. You are seeing red.
Yes.
These guys are going to
I mean,
pay.
it was literally home.
So you just, you barge into him like, the proverbial freight train.
As I reach him, as my hand goes up, if my hand reaches him,
Yeah.
there's this quick moment where I just look at him and go, "Hey, that was my car." And then I would like to.
He looks really, as you grab him and lift him off the ground, for a moment you register genuine surprise on his face. He did not expect this.
Do you want me to roll a brawl or something like that?
I think it's a brawl.
Okay.
Yes.
So, do I get my grappling specialty and strength or dexterity?
If you do a grapple, that means you're not primarily damaging him this turn. It means that you're grappling him and then intend to strangle the life out of him. Or
Okay,
you
in that
just
case,
intend to
I
just...
mean, it's basically grappling style, but it's basically a judo throw, but I'm trying to damage him, so I'm leaving the
No,
specialty
skip the
behind.
grapple.
In that case, that's 7 die, which I think I already
It's 7
have.
die, and then
Yes.
also you have the potence bonus.
Ooh.
And then, no, I mean, you don't
I-
get the die bonus, you just get
Yes,
the damage
the
bonus.
damage
And then you have
bonus,
lethal
exactly.
body, of course, and this guy not being...
So, I mean, that's actually not that many. That's 3 successes, plus I've got 2 levels of potence, so that
Yeah,
would
but the
be,
potence is only on damage.
Yes, so I can't re-roll my hunger die, unfortunately, so I can only use 2, but still. And I'm up to 4.
And suddenly, the guy dodges to the side, but you are intent on grabbing him. So as he avoids one of your fists, the other one takes him, and you throw him to the ground, brute force. He is, all right, there is a crunch. He is not, he's not completely out yet, but you do some severe damage to him. And, he's on the edge of unconsciousness. He's just shaking his head. There's blood pouring out on the asphalt. What are you doing? You are trying to look for whoever is doing...
I'm trying to look for up the ridge.
Yeah.
To see if I can see the shooter.
Yep. It's a resolve plus awareness check.
Yes, so that will be 2 for resolve, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for awareness. And that is...
Oh!
no! Oh no!
Our first messy critical.
Oh, right.
How do I look up a ridge real bad?
No. What happens, of course, are the consequences to this. Not only
Awful timing.
Not only do you see the aberration in the ridgeline that has to be the shooter, you know for a fact that you have to be the one that kills them. So you run out. I mean, there's not much.
I see him. He made a mess, and now he's cleaning it out.
So before you have time to think, the hunger and the rage inside you just takes over for a moment, and you break cover and you run towards that mountain ridge, intent on sinking your fangs into whatever or whoever is doing this and has done this to you.
That's the other way than we are, right?
So we are just gonna
Yeah.
spend... And how far away is that in meters?
But you did you did. It's somebody is.
It's gonna take me 16 rounds to get to him.
No, not necessarily. It all depends on how good of a runner or climber that you are. How are you?
So join us next week for the next first round with next characters.
Okay, cool. So I beeline for the fucker.
Margaret and Veronica are crouching behind a rock on the left side of the road. A bit further behind that rock, Dell is lying spread-eagled, part of her abdomen splattered over the landscape.
I would try to drag her back, of course, behind the cover.
Ow, ow,
Maya
ow, ow.
is, making mincemeat out of one of the thugs or gang members or whatever they are that are walking through the wreckage. There are more coming up from behind. You're starting to hear surprised shouts. The resolve seems to be, shaky. Somebody is behind them screaming, "Move on, get a move on!" And Camellia is, she's making a beeline for the other side. She's going for the ridge for some reason. So, Margaret, what do you do?
I think. I mean, I can still stand upright.
Yeah. This is. I mean, you were.
But I'm still fine.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. There's a hole in you, but I mean, it's not like you're bleeding.
I was meaning more. It's a smaller hole than what's in.
Yes.
Now.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna. I'm not sure how much I want to fuck up, to be honest. I think I'm gonna stand up and try and push you off and go back into the fight.
Go back into the fight. Do you have any means of fighting? How are you going to engage with the fight? Are you just gonna wander in there and pummel them?
I'm gonna start there.
You're gonna start there. Okay. Yes. Fair enough. So you are looking to engage. You're simply moving into a brawl, basically, with one of the thugs. Okay. Good.
I feel her trying to get away, and I try to get an eye contact with her and tell her, stay here, using compel.
Using compel.
Okay, but
Fair
can
enough.
I contest her compel though?
Yes.
Since I've also got dominate.
You don't even have. I mean, you're a vampire,
Yeah.
so you can still resist her compel, even though you don't have dominate. That means good. So that's that. You are
Blah,
picking yourself up from the ground.
Sucks. This sucks.
Committed to the craft. I like that.
So you're still
Ew.
lying. I mean, this is you could, for example, you could try to mend the wounds. For example,
I will try to mend the wounds.
you will try to mend the wounds. Yes, that sounds like a plan. Good, and you keep.
So there's a guy who's not yet unconscious below me. Are there any other assailants within, reachable range around me? Just trying to get a picture.
Yes, there's at least one.
Mm-hmm.
Then behind you is another shooter that is moving towards the trio behind the rock, and who is being targeted by Margaret, whilst Margaret is being, possibly compelled to stay.
Right. Assuming, I'm kind of trying to, in a split second, figure out whether any of them have their eyes on me. And at that point, I come down on the neck of the guy that I just put on the ground, assuming it is a guy. I don't want to make assumptions. Hard, trying to end that, and at the same time make eye contact with whoever I manage to intimidate. Or can try to intimidate, put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, most of the eyes are on you because you're at the forefront of this. You've taken one guy down, or girl, as you say. No, but it's a guy. And at least two others are approaching you hesitantly, suddenly no longer as cocksure as they seemed to be previously. You're realizing that maybe, what am I doing? This sudden rush of inspiration was temporary. You are suddenly finding yourself in the open. Do you want to proceed with this course of action, or
So
repent?
at this point, because I don't know enough about guns, but it's a ridge, not a give me the incline.
No, it's not a steep incline. It's more like it's a progression of sort of smaller inclines.
Okay,
it's
cool.
like a staircase almost.
So
Each
think
incline is somewhere between 1 to 2 meters high, maybe up to 3 in some cases. But there are paths. It's very climbable. It's not like it's not like it's a sheer cliff or anything.
And again, this is like, you can tell me what I can do here, right? Because now I feel like I've committed to this.
You've committed to this.
Yeah,
Okay.
this
If
feels.
you say so.
Yeah, now I feel like it more narratively. It's more if this is what I do rather than you get appointments but you run halfway and then you run all the way back.
Yeah.
But could I at least get the thing of like, maybe hide a bit and see if I can get out of the viewpoint of the shooter?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you come to the base of this incline, then you're probably out of the view because whoever is doing the shooting is a bit further up, and unless, you can't see very clearly, but you should be in better cover as soon as you come in contact with the base of the hill.
Because then I'm gonna go for him.
You go for him. Good. Then
Always
we know.
great when the ST makes that kind of pause.
I have no means of fighting someone.
All right.
But
I mean, this is
Recon.
you're
Recon is
basically
good.
you're trying to sort of dodge and weave your way to the base of the ridge.
Yeah.
Hoping not to get shot in the mean.
yeah, and not breaking speed.
No,
So-
obviously no. Good. Then let's do this one by one. Let's start with you. You're already engaged.
I made a mistake.
Sure.
What do you need?
So you're
I'm gonna need about 7 die.
You're
Two
putting
of
the
them-
heart.
Yeah.
You're putting the
Okay.
heart
It's
on
fine.
your present victim again.
Yes.
Trying to take him out.
Doesn't really seem to make sense not to.
Yeah. Go for it.
So another brawl then, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay. That is just to make sure I'm not doing something stupid. That's 7 die. These are 7 die. Thank you very much. And I count 4 successes.
4 successes.
Yes.
Well, in this case, you did you push down?
The idea is because I'm still more or less standing, to fall down on one of my knees, which happens to be on his neck.
All right.
And at the moment where hopefully the crack sounds.
Oh, there is a crack.
Look up at the next one.
Let's do an intimidate also for that to see whether that guy actually gets a shot off at you or not.
Charisma intimidate or something?
Charisma intimidate. Yes.
Yay! So that is 5. This is what this character is good at, in case anybody has been wondering. And that would be a messy critical of 5 successes.
Messy critical. So what happens here is that as you do this, intimidate, to accentuate the effect, you rub your knee over the neck of the guy whose neck had just broken, really crushing it slowly, savoring the moment. In a true display of predatory sadism, this merits a stain.
Do I? Yeah, the intimidate
Yeah,
happens.
but just the intimidate happens, and he just runs. He just turns and he runs as fast as he can in the other direction.
All right.
That was that, and let's do the dominant thing here to see whether or not we'll have a fight in our hands next. So it's
I think charisma.
it's charisma plus dominate versus intelligence plus resolve.
All right. That would be just one. I mean, 2 successes on the hunger die. Yeah.
No, it's still one.
Still one? Is it the
Yeah, but it's only
Karim?
two. It's only. Sorry, I moved out of shot.
Sorry.
Okay, so when it's a 10 on the hunger die.
It's a 10 on the hunger die is still one success unless it's in pairs.
Oh, I see. Okay. I see.
It's still it's a crit like any
Right.
other crit.
Standing constellation, I keep making that mistake in my home game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Unfortunately,
Let's see.
it's not the best roll.
And it was intelligence plus resolve.
Yes. 2 attributes.
Ooh.
Something
Ooh.
that can happen occasionally.
All right.
One
Oh
more.
my gosh.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. 7 dice. One
All
with
right.
the hunger roll.
Yeah.
I'm not.
You do make eye contact, but in the din of the fight and against the steely resolve of Margaret, your powers come to naught. She enters the fray.
And I'm sure that I have a book, so I want to be entering the fray and just go, ah!
Okay, you're gonna hit.
I follow her just to make sure to help her in case.
And you are trying to mend here.
Yeah, before I do that, I want to yell at them, leave one alive.
Maybe.
Let's see now here. Let's. I need to remind me. Do I? Mending is. No, at your generation, that's 1 level of damage
Yes.
per turn per
We
round
have
check.
no chance but to.
So you can make a rouse check. Single die.
I'm good.
No, it
Or
means
blank.
Blank means bad. It means
Oh,
you gain
gotcha.
1 hunger, but you also reduce your superficial damage by 1.
Boop.
You're slowly putting yourself together again. You're starting to, this damage isn't enough to hamper you, so you can stop at any time and actually, enter the altercation to do something else. But this is your action for this round. All right, and then you are doing the dodge.
I am doing the
You
dodge.
are doing the dodge, yes. So I want you to roll a athletics plus
no.
dexterity.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
That's 3 because I have nothing in athletics.
And 2 of them are hunger die.
Yeah. Where's the? I need another hunger die.
Can we have another red one? Thank you very much.
So that is one success.
1 success.
Can I spend a willpower to re-roll 1 die? I mean,
Yes.
can I actually get a success? I need at least 3, right? And I can't re-roll hunger
I
die.
mean, that depends a bit on what that is, what that guy or gal has.
It
for-
depends on the roll here.
Okay.
So it could be the difference between unlife and uncomfortable unlife.
Let's spend a willpower.
All
just
right.
for the hex of it.
Yeah, and re-roll that one.
Ha! Suddenly there are 4
Suddenly
successes.
it's 4 successes.
And another messy critical.
And another messy critical.
Oh, yay!
And another messy critical. Well, A bullet slams into the ground just beside you as you weave with inhuman speed, like snaking your way around the path of the bullet. And now, I mean, you are committed now. This dodge has, brought you to the edge of frenzy. I want you to roll a frenzy check.
Oh no! How did I do?
This is actually a bit of
That's your
improvising because
Is my
frenzy check
willpower?
isn't a
So,
Straight
formal
roll?
consequence.
yeah.
Willpower plus 2.
Willpower and thank you, +2, so 6 die.
Yeah.
So 6 die.
Yeah, and hunger die don't make a difference here.
No.
3, 4, 5, 6. Oop. Sorry, the reverse. That is 2 successes.
2 successes. You barely manage to keep yourself in check. It's borderline, but you're still committed to this course of action. You reach the base of the hill.
As soon as I get to the base of the hill, I also want to activate Silence of Death.
Mm-hmm.
So if he can't see me, he can't hear me either.
All right.
And Camellia is a big girl. She doesn't look like she should move this fast, but she moves.
Yeah, this
she's
was-
just gone.
Yeah. Okay, and
I kind of love that you, who proclaimed that you have the least combat, is currently doing the most badass shit.
Well, to be fair, I ain't punched no one yet. With my weak little arms.
Soon.
well, there is basically a crater in the ground where you stood moments ago.
Yep.
Let's see now. You are getting shot at by... No, you are entering...
I'm entering the fight screaming.
Fight screaming, that is true. So, using your book, do you have any skill in Brawl or Melee?
I do. I have 1 in Brawl.
1 in Brawl. Technically, that's unarmed, but let's say the book counts as a brawl in this case.
I think that's fair.
I did
Yeah.
not spec thinking I was going to fight with books.
No. So wielding the book, you attack your assailant, screaming, trying to sort of knock the gun out of his hand and then bash him over the head. Well, do a brawl check.
Good luck.
Is it strength plus Brawl? Or is it just Brawl?
No, it's strength plus brawl. There is no finesse involved when wielding a book.
That's 2 successes.
That's 2 successes. Wait, I should have told you. You could also, I mean, in your case, being that you're somewhat disadvantaged in this department, you might want to do a blood search to get an extra die.
Nah.
Nah.
Let's
Okay.
see how far 2 successes can get me.
Let's see how far that gets you. All right. Well, it gets you shot again.
Worth a try. Worth a shot.
So you take, let's see, 3 and then have 2 levels of superficial damage.
We're not going to
As
make
he
it to
shoots you
Seattle.
again.
gonna be a
Compel,
problem.
you mended.
I do.
You fought people and scared one away with your gruesome display. And you've reached the base of the cliff. Now, third turn. I should also mention that at this stage, there is a slight rosy glow around the horizon. We're not talking dawn in a few minutes, but, we're talking dawn in, hour, something.
That's
Awesome.
just great.
What do you do?
Gosh. It's just one guy in front of me? Or how many guys can I see?
No, right now you are should not move out of the camera again. around this rockish, there is only one guy. I think this guy was expecting other guys to follow him there, but they've all been sort of held back by the wall of terror that is Maya.
Can I just compel him to
Yeah.
stop and lie down?
You can try to catch his.
Or can I? Maybe I should mesmerize him.
Yeah. That's usually your modus operandi in
Yeah.
situations like this.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we're gonna mesmerize him.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I mesmerize him, and if I can't take him out, you can take him out.
Let's see. No, he's not No, he's not. He's not trying to avoid your gaze. It's no problem. Sorry.
So I don't need to do a rouse check?
No, you don't do anything yet. I just want to know what you're doing.
I'm gonna try and mesmerize
You
him.
can try to mesmerize him. Okay, good. What do you do?
I see what happened to her. I didn't know that she tries to mesmerize him, and I would just try to go in and beat the hell out of him.
You will going to beat the hell out of him. Okay, yeah. That is fine. What do? You still want to keep knitting your body together?
Yeah.
Or, all right, you are sort of lying there and sort of try and get, you don't really want to show yourself with this, this hideous thing. Although the rip there looked kind of nice, and maybe if you keep that, in the shirt you were wearing, but mend the flesh, it could actually be something.
Quite cute.
Yeah, and you are. I mean, you could basically. They are backing off now, as they are. Their resolve seems to be broken.
Right. I think at this point it's time for the classical slow, menacing swagger towards them, trying to capitalize on that intimidation effect. Basically, trying to get them to break. If they stand, I'm going to engage with one of them. But
you're sweeping your gaze across all of the the hostiles
whilst
that you see there.
advancing.
Yeah, and you are going up the cliff.
I am going up the cliff with Silence of Death activated.
You do know that this is making a mess out of your outfit.
I know, but the current cleanup is this guy.
I kind of like how there's a very simple rule. We take one problem out after the other.
This is the strategy.
Prioritize.
If I manage to get that guy, then after that, it's done.
All right.
This is not working.
All right, so let's do this. Let's start over here.
Yeah.
You are trying to mesmerize. What do you tell him to do?
Lie down on the ground.
Lie down. You can do that with the compel. Lie down.
Yeah, I guess I can do that.
Yeah.
But it's more fun to mesmerize.
Is it?
Well, if you do mesmerize, it lasts the entire scene.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Otherwise,
I want him
you
to
want
lie
to stay
down for the
down,
foreseeable future.
Now, obviously, this is in a situation like this. Even something at the back of his head is resisting. Even in his mesmerized state, he knows that this is probably not a good idea. So he will try to resist you, and you will have to roll for it. But that is manipulation plus dominate.
Yes.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
1, 2, 3, 4 successes. What about the rouse check? Do you get hungrier?
I forgot to do that one.
That's 8. She doesn't.
No, she doesn't. This comes as natural as, well, I was to say breathing, but... So you catch his eyes and you slowly say to him, lie down. And your words become imperatives to his feeble brain, and he just gets down on his knees and just lies down on the ground. You see this happening, of course, and do you still engage him?
No, I would go past him and see if there's anyone behind him that needs to be punched.
All right, so you stop mid-kick and then turn that kick into a leap and go forward to stand side by side with Meyer.
Yes.
Good. You keep mending, so make a rouse check. Oh, it's fine. You regain 1 superficial damage, no hunger increase.
Can I hear what they're doing or what she just did with the dominate bit?
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you're slowly getting up there,
Okay.
as the wound is knitting itself together.
Yeah, I'm
going to
go stand next to her and the dude on the ground.
I didn't declare it out front, so tell me if I'm not allowed to, but can I try to support my intimidation check with all.
No, you need daunt for that.
Damn it.
Awe is attraction. But I will let Veronica add a die to your intimidation because she's now beside you,
Wait,
adding
we are
to the
cooperating.
intimidation.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
This is exactly how we expected this to go, right?
No.
Can I have a dice tray, please? Thank you very much.
I mean, you do have intimidate as skill.
Yes, and I do have Don't on right now. So
But
yes.
that doesn't matter because
Yeah.
since you're helping him and you have
Yes.
the correct skill.
So basically, we're currently doing the badass thing where we're both walking forward,
Yeah.
getting ready for the next guy.
So you're doing an intimidate check. to
Charisma
get
intimidate +1 die.
plus 1 die, yes.
Wonderful.
So do we actually do like a joint roller or something
No,
like
no,
that?
no,
Okay.
no, no.
Okay.
You're
No
basically
Oh,
cooperation.
no,
spotting me.
no, that would be.
All right. That'd be very scary.
Yeah, that would, no, that's it.
I am going to use my second willpower.
Yes.
So I've got 3 successes, but honestly, this is. I would like this to be over, please. And it's 6 successes.
Yeah.
We were very scary.
They
very
they are backing off. They are backing off. From behind them, you hear a voice say, "God damn it! You took out the wrong car. The place is crawling with licks."
Yeah, I feel that I did what I'm supposed to do.
And you are climbing.
I am getting up the ridge,
Sorry, I should.
trying to devise some sort of halfway just 100% focused on this shit, but also trying to wait, hold on, what's the actual plan? And
Okay, so you have to roll a dexterity plus athletics to do the climbing.
yeah, I can't climb very well.
No, but you are making a great effort. I believe in you.
But yeah, okay, cool, never mind. Let's do it. Yeah. That's 2 successes on the hunger die only?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not a
That's
messy critical.
No, but still, I have not seen you not roll at least 1 critical die on the Hunger Knife since we started this.
Well,
This is amazing.
I mean, you're making a good effort. I mean, it's obviously you're out of practice, but a effort. You know, you're getting up there, getting up one ridge. You know, finding a little path there, climbing, scrabbling along. Then a shot rings out, bang, and let's see. Let's do a little bit of arbitration here. Who's it gonna be? It's gonna be you.
Some things you expect.
Bang! Just as you stand there, flush with your success, a bullet hits you. And this is a better shot than the one that hit her. And it hits you like a thunderbolt. Somebody shooting you with a bloody cannon. So it throws you off your feet, down into the ground, suffering. This is 4 superficial damage.
Well, I'm not yet getting into aggravated territory.
No?
No.
But it's you feel that.
Yeah.
Boom! Realizing the futility of staying out in the open, you've taken cover. Some of you behind cars, and some of you behind the rocks that so far has been very useful. Walking towards you, barreling through the smoking, flaming wreckage, is a brute of a man. Timeless, barbarian-esque, biker-clad hulk, wielding a huge chain clad in leather, bellowing like he's the coming of Ragnarok or something. Who of you licks has the guts to come out, eh? Scared of a little rain?
Yeah, no.
No.
So
I do.
I'm on the ground.
All right.
I think Della and Peggy are just looking at each other and just going,
Like, no.
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 You,
I know what I'm getting into, and I'm walking straight in front of him.
you're walking, okay, so you leave the cover
I do.
of the rock. The moment that you do, a shot rings out. Boom! The shot strikes you center mass, dealing. This is 10 levels of superficial damage. Now you have toughness, so it's
Yes.
lowered by 2, which gives you 8, and then we halve it. So 4 levels go in.
4.
Yes.
You're running towards that, right?
It's fine.
You are thrown to the ground. How hurt are you?
What do you mean?
No, I'm just asking. What's the?
It's 4 superficial, but I still have 5 health.
All
so,
right. Okay.
Yeah.
You are thrown down, thrown backwards. Your back smashing into the rock that your friends are hiding behind. What's the matter? Rain get to you? Meanwhile, you are scrambling up the mountainside. Your costume in tatters, but you are damned. You are going to get there. Let me see a dexterity plus athletics roll.
Cool. Can I get some hunger dice?
Sure.
Because I can roll my mighty 3 dice.
You could, of course, always
Take half?
do a blood surge,
Oh,
gaining another dice, which of course would risk you getting even more hunger.
I think in this case, like right now, I don't know. I'm gonna keep scrambling up this hill because it's not a necessarily. I don't think this is what I want to spend it on. I'm on my way.
All
it's
right.
just very slow.
Let's see what happens.
Or should I do it? Oh, let's do it. Nope, those are too few hunger dice. I was cheating.
Ooh.
Not yet.
That's 1 success. But
Well,
only on the
you're
hunger
making
die.
progress, but it's slower.
How far do I have to go? How far is left?
How far is left? Yeah. Well, at this pace,
Can I see the barrel of the gun?
No, the barrel of the gun isn't peeking out.
Dang
over
it!
No. And that's probably a good thing, because
Yeah.
if it were, then you would be in its line of fire.
Cool. How much further?
How much further? Oh, well, it's a bit off. I'd say you're about a third of the way.
A third?
Oh.
I'll live here now. I really don't want to spend more willpower on this. I'm gonna slowly make my way up this hill.
Yeah.
Quietly.
So you are thrown to the ground. Do you get up? Do you hide? What do you do?
My plan, it depends on the position of the attacker, but
The huge man, he is approaching you slowly, toying with you, laughing. He
see.
doesn't seem to be in a hurry.
my plan would be, because he's huge, apparently.
He is a big guy. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't take him, but he sure acts as if you're something that he could swat away at any time. And
Well, size-wise, I'm much smaller. So my approach to that, if I of course can do that from my position, would be to try to put him in between, or put myself in the way so he's in between me and the place I got shot from. So he's kind of like a moving cover for me, so I can, if possible, tackle him when he is in that position.
Oh, I see. I think that seems like a reasonable plan. Do any of you other guys have something you want to add to this, or is this are you
no.
watching the show?
I'm staying out of this.
I think at this point I'm slowly getting back to my feet after having been thrown over, kind of standing there going, and slowly moving into the underbrush.
All right.
Because I can't hide behind him.
So I would say that you will have to, because as you try to move in, use him as a shield, he moves away. It's obvious that he tries to give whoever is raining fire on you to give a free line of sight. But you're quick. So make a wits plus athletics roll.
Okay. Can I get the
Oh, yes.
tray? Wits plus athletics.
Keep gathering
that.
die over here. But I think it's good for now.
All right.
No,
Do
before.
this.
And that is 4 successes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just too quick for him. You managed to move him in a position where he cannot really move away without bumping into the car. And then, quick as a weasel, you're in front of him. And, just as you expect the next bullet to come, it doesn't. So obviously you have moments to act.
Yes.
Before he moves out of the way. So what do you do?
Would I be able to try to use his own weapon against him? He has this chain, right?
Yeah.
I would love to, if I feel, of course, that I am quick enough to be able to do so, grab the end of the chain and just wrap it around his neck.
All right. That is...
It's a pretty nice move.
It's a nice move. I will give you that. It all depends on, his capabilities. You have no idea so far.
Absolutely.
If you were mere mortals, this would be suicide. But you will now test whose blood is the stronger.
Sure.
All right. I would like then, this is a
I would use
wits plus brawl, I would say.
Oh, perfect. All right.
I mean, this is an unarmed maneuver.
Yes.
So he's lunging for you. He's lunging for you almost casually, like a cat, a big, muscly cat, toying with a mouse. And the chain goes in, and you try to grab it.
That is all right. So I do have 3 successes.
Willpower.
I could use willpower.
I think
You
yeah.
can do that.
Yeah. So I can reroll for 1 willpower. I can reroll 3 regular dice,
Exactly.
right?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. That is still 3 successes.
The chain comes sweeping towards you. You muster up all the skill that you possess, but he's fast. Faster than he lets on. And the chain strikes you across the chin. It's almost casual. It doesn't put much weight into it, but it's still a slap that hurts. So you will receive, let's see. This is 4, but you have toughness on, so that's 2 superficial damage, halved, so 1.
Okay.
So it goes down to 1 because you have toughness.
Okay.
Boom, but it still strikes you with enough power to throw you to the ground. He laughs at you and quickly moves out of the way. And then?
Well, I need to dodge away.
Yeah, you realize this, you don't have to have premonition to know what's coming now.
Yes.
So you are trying to dodge. Now, make a dodge roll.
So that would be?
Your dodge, that's Dex plus Athletics.
Okay.
That's a regular dodge.
Karim, sorry for interrupting. Am I imagining this incorrectly? I get the impression that he must be staying pretty close to the burning wreck right now.
He has sort of rounded it, so he is now. He is not, he's a couple of meters from the burning wreck, but he's approaching. He's gone around. He's somewhere, I'd say, a couple of meters from the burning wreck. With one side towards the ford.
Have any fluids spilled on the road where he is?
The ford is leaking something out of its penetrated forward section, I'd say. Whether that's coolant, what do you say, coolant fluid? No, it's...
Coolant fluid.
Yeah.
I think.
Or if it's, a gas leak, it's... I don't know, where did you take cover, by the way? Are you behind the ford?
So far, I imagined, because I was kind of standing in the hollow when I got shot, that I would just drag myself quickly into the bushwork and stay there for a moment, trying to get my bearings. But I'm interrupting the roll, I'm sorry. I was wondering whether I can throw a light or something like that to basically lend a distraction.
It's good because
that is absolutely. That is a good plan.
We have a situation.
But you do need to make...
We probably have a bestial failure in here. Because we have one success only, and then we have a skull. So I assume that I cannot really reroll this singular black dice I have because it still would end up with a failure if I have only 2 successes, right?
Depends.
Okay, so
Let's find out. I'm gonna roll this one.
okay.
Well, do you want to re-roll it? I'm not gonna say whether it's gonna be well.
I
get the impression that it's not an auto success.
I would quickly look over at the studio people to see if their faces give away anything. Oh no, it doesn't.
I mean, the willpower is there to be spent.
I think I will just deal with the consequences of whatever have just happened in
You
here.
will deal with the consequences.
Okay.
Oh well.
Famous last words.
That's also a way of dealing.
Well, you try to move out of the side, but not quick enough. Another bullet strikes your arm, shattering bone, spreading muscle and viscera on the ground. You sustain, let's see here, 1, 2, 3. With your toughness calculated in and have the superficial damage, it's 3 points.
All right.
That sounded way worse. Not saying
It's
that
not
good.
great.
It's not great.
It's not great. You have been dealt aggravated damage now.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I still have 1 health.
Oh my God! You're a tank.
I was going to say.
Boom.
It's just not good.
But this is, this has reached a limit.
Yeah.
Something inside you gives way. The blood must have retribution. You are laden by a compulsion that is. Let's find that out later.
This is going to make it easier for us to make an
compulsion.
exit, folks.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You
I
are,
think I see this and I go, and I flip up my Zippo, that I hope is the right word because otherwise it sounds really weird, and hope that what I'm throwing it into is flammable because I guess that guy won't like that.
Well, this is obviously a dexterity plus athletics roll.
Yay!
There's no way we're getting out of using dexterity for this one.
You
I
mean to
think-
tell
I
me
think
that the
you're
thing
fine.
that I actually invested points in, I get to actually use it. Can I have the dice tray, please?
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, let's put it here. That's 3. So I have 4 points dexterity, 3 points of athletics. That would make 7. Keep rolling 7 pools.
But this throw is tough. You're going to have to be.
So what you're telling me
really,
is I should
really accurate.
I should already earmark the willpower, right? Yeah, I'm going to use a willpower.
So much willpower spent.
And re-roll
but I
3
mean, that's
dice. So I'm counting 3
working as
successes so
intended.
far. And this would be a messy critical.
a messy
and
critical.
Then we are looking at 4 7 successes. As you know what, I think in this particular case the beast is trying to protect the herd. Is one of the 2 who have been staying out of this nearby, and I can tackle them to the ground away from the fire. Basically seeing this and diving and trying to get them into cover as well.
No kind of messy critical
Damn it.
will
I'm gonna
be
be.
that.
I've got to be selfish.
No, that's it has to be selfish because
All
the
right.
beast is all about self-preservation.
It was worth a try. In that case, how about I do more or less the same thing, but basically drag Della, Peggy, who wants to be closer to me.
Probably Peg. I'm behind the rock still.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm probably close.
So basically, I tackle Peggy to the ground and cower behind her, expecting some horrible fireball.
I think that's fine.
Thank you.
You're using your beast. Realizing.
I might be making a mistake right now.
Yeah. Because what you're doing now, you're trying to blow up the ford. So you'll jump from cover from behind the ford towards the nearest cover. which happens to be your supposed No, it cannot be Margaret, because Margaret's already behind cover, further high behind a rock. The only person that you can take cover behind is Veronica,
I think that's very
lying on the ground. Yes. So as you do that, realizing the imminent fireball, in a fit of temporary fear and the sort of the Rötrek, a shadow of Rötrek comes over you, and you throw yourself, taking cover behind your nearest ally.
She seems tough.
Yeah. The
understatement of the year.
As the lighter lands on the ground, it's the movie. Sort of the moment is almost movie-like. Everything slows down, and the man with the chain looks, and there's a short flame, and the fire almost seems to casually, start along the pool of fluid. It's not moving in any particular way. It just spreads out and then vanishes under the car. He's like, holy! Throws himself to the side just as you throw yourself behind your comrade. Fuck! As the car goes up, or at least parts of the car goes up in a woof. It does not explode in the way that your Camaro did, unfortunately, but at least you can take consolation in that your Camaro went out with more rock and roll than the Soul Ford.
Well.
But the heat wave is palpable, and as he is covering behind you and you cannot get away, you will now suffer 1 point of aggravated damage.
I see.
Yes.
So wait, do I do I basically lose the remaining health and then there's...
No, you just make...
Okay.
Oh, wait, yeah, you what you do is you make an X of the last box.
Yes.
Yeah. So you are now impaired as well. As the fire washes over you and burns your exposed flesh, you feel the beast inside you recoil from the fire. I want you to make a frenzy test.
Yes.
For
that's willpower.
Fear frenzy. That's willpower plus. But you have in humanity. That's 7, right?
Yeah, I have 7 humanity. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. It's +3 in that case, I think. Let's go with that. And so your remaining willpower.
Remaining one.
Remaining willpower.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus 3.
Plus 3.
Yes.
And no hunger dice in there.
No.
That would be 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, it's fine. You regain control, but you roll away as the fire keeps roaring. You see the big man make a run for it. Oh, sun's coming up. I get to ride, but you guys, you get to fry. Then he lopes off round the corner. You're barred because there's a fire raging between you and him, and you hear the sound of a engine, a motorcycle probably start. Vroom, vroom. A couple of explosions, shots maybe, and then it disappears into the distance. You, I'd like you to roll a final athletics plus dexterity.
One final one.
Yeah, to see if you manage to get up.
If I've been 1/3 so far, I need another hunger die.
Yeah, we need another. Thank you. Whilst that happens, I dust myself offer Veronica a hand and go, I don't like him.
I'm just shaking my head.
That is completely blank.
All right.
At this point,
you scramble for purchase. You know that if you can just find the path, you can get up there. But suddenly you see, suddenly you hear something from up there. You see movement, and then a sound. Another motorcycle, more high-pitched, more wasp-like than the other one. Obviously a bike. And then there's the slightest whiff of a dust cloud, and you know it as a premonition that your target is gone. Up until the fireball moment, you had a chance. There might have been a chance of getting, you know, at least some miles out of the ford. That is now not an option.
Come on.
You'll be happy if you can salvage something from it, as it's, you know, quickly turning into a bonfire. You look around, and there's no more signs of the attackers. The whoever they were, the mercenaries, thugs, gang members, who knows, bikers, they're gone. The man or men who led this attack, gone. But you know what's not gone? It's that pink glow on the horizon, burning brighter and brighter as your vehicles slowly combusting in front of your eyes.
So the unlit cigarette I lighted, which I don't think is a problem right now.
I would actually, if you want to go that close to the fire, it's a frenzy test.
I take out a matchbook and I light the cigarette. So, anybody know the area?
And with that, it's curtains for this episode. But fear not, we will soon be back to find out what happens to our gang of intrepid trouble solvers.
That was the first episode of In Pursuit. 2.5 hours later.
Wow.
Thank you so much for watching.
That flew by.
It did. We didn't edit it at all.
No.
Once again, please give us your feedback back. Tell us what you think, and we'll see you in the next episode. Right? I mean, you're there. 'Cause you're
I'm
the
there.
storyteller.
Yeah.
I'm there in the background, shouting things, but
Yeah. You should see the sign he makes. Signs.
I edit
Plural.
I edit all of those out. See you next week.